Xbox games with gold for the month of May 2021. Apologies, the studio is a little bit empty behind me, but this video is going to be jam-packed with all the games that are coming to Games with Gold for free for the month of May 2021. We'll talk about the games, what they are, why you should care about them, and why you need to make sure you add them to your download list. Let's dive in and take a look. Alrighty, if you're a new viewer of the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Not only is it free, but it helps me out enormously as well in growing this channel and this community. We're going to be looking at the Xbox games with gold for this month, and we've got 4 titles. I'm not going to say good titles, 4 titles as part of the lineup. Let me know though in the comment section down below what you guys think of these 4 titles. Are you fans of this month's lineup, or are you kind of a bit on the fence? I'm honestly a little bit disappointed with this month's lineup. I think Game Pass is a great month, but for games with gold, it is not so good. So for those of you that are unaware and you're only here because you want to know what the games are the the 2 Xbox One X and S console games are Mellow and Dungeons 3. They're the 2 games from that side, and then the 2 classic games that are coming out this month are Tropico 4 and Lego Batman, the first Lego Batman game, with Armello and Batman coming out now at the start of the month, and then the other 2 games mid-month cycle being Dungeons 3 and Tropico 4. One thing I'm a massive fan of with Microsoft advertising of games with gold, which is something that Sony doesn't do because Sony hates trophies, is they advertise really upfront. You can earn 4,000 gamer score from these 4 games. There's 4,000 G worth games on here. It's nice to see Xbox just embrace that and promote that, using that as a promoting tool to attract someone who's an achievement hunter and maybe wants to up their gamer score by looking at it and saying, hey, I can get an extra easy 1,000 G off Batman, or Lego Batman, because it's not a very difficult game, or I can get a bit of gamer score here or there. I really dig that Microsoft promotes their stuff like that. It's something that Sony never really acknowledges. Trophies exist, they're really hidden on the PlayStation 5 dashboard, but they're never front and foremost or promoted. It's kind of a weird area between Xbox and Sony, where they both sort of treat this one thing that is on both of their platforms very, very differently. I don't know, it's just an observation I made. Microsoft does it in all their marketing, Sony does it in literally no marketing. Any trophy hunters out there, can you name a time where Sony actively promoted trophies? Because I'm curious to hear that. Just an aside. So let's have a look at all 4 of these games and break them all down, then we'll give a final score. Actually, let's give a final score now. I'll give my final, my thoughts on games with gold for this month. I think this is a weak month, honestly. Last month we had Vikings, which was, you know, a subpar-ish game. Dark Void, which I think is kind of a fun little third-person classic. Uprising and Truck Racer. And I honestly, I think this month is weaker than that. I'm gonna give it probably a 4 out of 10 in terms of quality. Unless you're a massive RTS fan, a real-time strategy fan, I think you're gonna have a hard time enjoying or getting a lot of enjoyment out of these games. I really don't like RTS games, hence why I've given such a harsh score there, but some of you guys may disagree with that if you're a massive RTS guy and you love Tropico or you love Dungeons, things like that, then I mean, yeah, sure, you're going to have a good time with these games then. Okay, the games are Armello. Armello is an interesting game. It's kind of like a board game. It's sort of an RTS. It's pretty much a board game, but in video game form. That's probably the easiest way to describe it. The description here on the blog says, Armello is a deep strategy game that combines a fantastical turn-based board game setting with a tactical card game and deck building elements. I played this a few years back when it originally launched, and I just couldn't get through it. I know there's people that enjoy these deep-seated board games and card games, and I do enjoy those things. It just takes a long time to get invested and to enjoy them. This game is no exception. A lot of rules and things you have to learn and figure out as you play through it. Fantastic setting. The game looks great. It's just complicated, and I just couldn't get my head around that. Like I said at the start, I'm not a massive RTS guy, so for me, it's not my kind of cup of tea necessarily, but I'm sure there's some people out there who love it. It's got really good review scores, so I don't doubt that it's super popular. The second game is Dungeons 3. This is a very traditional RTS style game. You've got base building elements, you're controlling mobs and combat style elements as well. Throw zombies, demons, goblins, and more into your evil empire and put those no good heroes in their place for a change as Dungeons 3 comes to Xbox games with gold later in the month. Dungeons 3 is a real-time strategy game about taking over the world with an army of demonic minions. I personally haven't played this one, so don't know how good or bad it is, but RTS again. Lego Batman, this is a game I have played. This is one of the original Lego games from the 360 era, PS3 era of gaming. I think I think from memory that it is so far back in the Lego lore that they don't speak. Because as you guys might remember, in the earlier Lego games, the characters didn't speak. They just made funny little mutters and murmurs, and then they got voice acted by, proper voice actors as the franchise evolved. I'm pretty sure this one's old enough that it goes all the way back to Lego's original roots where they don't speak. It says this classic 360 title lets you take control of the Bat and plenty more DC heroes and villains. A platforming collectathon with tons to see and do. And it is. That is exactly what the game is. It's basically a collectathon platformer, I suppose. You can't die, there's not really any consequence, and you get easy 1000G out of just playing through the game. The final game is another 360 game, Tropico 4. As El Presidente, you run the show, and your political choices will affect how your island is run, as well as the enemies and allies you make along the way. Tropico is kind of like this, it's a weird Sim City style game where you're creating an island and controlling everything that goes on the island. It's basically Sim City, but with a slightly different setting. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, then this could be for you as well. I think those kind of games work a lot better over on the PC personally, but on console, I guess they kind of do too. I really haven't dabbled, again, like I said, in these ones, so I'm probably not the best authority to be saying, hey, these are good or terrible games. But honestly, what do you guys think of this lineup? Are you fans of the lineup? Are you not super fans of the lineup? Want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to add these games to your library and redeem them. Go to the gold area on the Xbox menu, scroll across to gold. It will bring you to the gold hub on the Xbox dashboard, and then click on each of the individual games and add them to your library. What are your predictions for next month's games with gold? What do you guys think about those? Or what do you think is going to be added in the month of June? Probably a pretty big month, given it's E3 month as well, so curious to get everyone's thoughts down below. I will be making a PlayStation Plus games with gold comparison video for this month as well. I'll probably have that come up on the channel tomorrow, so stay tuned for that one. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe down below, hit that like button, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one. April Patreons, thank you all so much. You'll be seeing your names popping up here on the left hand side of the screen if you were a Patreon from the $1 tier or lower through the month of April. Thank you so very much, each and every one of you April Patreons. You'll be seeing your names on every single one of my videos all through May 2021. Without you guys, we couldn't continue making these videos, so thank you so much. You're all leg ends in my book.